Sam knew Jason was really out there? What am I saying? Not just out there, in Port Charles. And what about everyone else who cares about him? Sonny, Carly, Elizabeth? How am I supposed to keep something like this? Elizabeth?
I see you have company. Didn't mean to intrude.
And yet here you are.
I just thought you should know. Jake is out of surgery.
That's good news. How is he? Was the surgery successful?
First, I'd like to know what Helena's doing here.
Well, my comings and goings are of no concern to you. Now, my grandson asked you a question. I suggest that you give him an answer.
You have more of a stake in this than anyone.
Well, I can't imagine what you mean.
That little device you implanted in Jake's brain, it's been removed.
Apparently, your Dr. Drake was successful.
So does the removal of the implant neutralize your conditioning? Is Jake now able to act of his own free will?
If the implant was controlling Jake, then I suppose it would be all over, wouldn't it?
Oh, spare me the double talk. After everything you have done, you owe me an answer.
I don't owe you anything, Nurse Weber. I am a free woman. I have lost all interest I might ever have had in your humdrum life.
Well, I wish that were true. But when I walked in here, the two of you were talking about lying to me. You want to tell me what that was about? What did Helena want you to lie to me about?
Jake is Jason Morgan. He's alive. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. This is all my fault. I didn't want you to know that I had agreed to allow Helena to stay here after her immunity deal. I knew it would upset you, so.
You're right about that.
I can assure you it's only temporary. I just thought it would be best to keep her close, you know, so I can keep an eye on her.
My grandson is the soul of vigilance.
I didn't want you or Lulu to know that she was spending the night here, especially after what she did to your friend Jake.
What a relief to hear Helena will soon be out of Port Charles.
Oh, I assure you, I never remain in this dreary place longer than necessary.
And it was necessary to be here to torture Jake, to force him to do your bidding?
Elizabeth, I hope you know how sorry I am for all of this. And I know it won't make up for what Jake has suffered, but I'd like to cover his medical expenses. I insist. My family has put that man through hell. And from what I understand, he doesn't have access to insurance because he doesn't know who he is.
That might not be the case anymore. I was with Jake as he was going under the anesthesia. He told me something. Jake said he remembered who he is.
That's great news. Jake remembers who he is.
Yes. Now we don't have to settle for Helena's version of events. We can have Jake tell us everything. Nicholas, I want to thank you. I know it wasn't easy for you to go up against your family, but you did, and you helped my friend, and it means everything to me.
No need to thank me. It was nothing.
Well, I disagree. I'll let the hospital know you're going to cover Jake's care. I should get going. If I'm gone too long, Dr. O will have my head.
Well, we couldn't have that. Oh, safe travels, Nurse Weber. I do hope that the launch doesn't hit any unexpected chop.
Nicholas, I know this is none of my business, but if I were you, I'd find a way to cut this woman out of your life, family or not.
You're probably right.
See?
You're still unconscious.
Okay, what exactly did Jake say?
I told him that Jake tried to speak to you.
Well, we had already administered the anesthesia, so he didn't say much of anything.
No name? No, nothing?
The only person who can tell us who he is Jake.
Dr. Drake, your patient has just regained consciousness.
I'm alive, right?
I told you Patrick was the best.
What about the device?
It's gone.
Thank you.
Now that you're back to the land of the living, can you tell us who you really are?
on the next General Hospital.
Happy birthday.
Can you believe that Spinelli has been hiding this from both of us?
Who's working with Sloan?
How do you want me to handle this case?
I'm gonna be sorry to see him go.
I remember.